Hello fly tires, Mike Dunnaway here, the Flatland Fly Tire. And I did a video actually this morning on tying the Fat Albert fly. And here's the fly we tied up this morning. And this video is actually a sequel to tying the Fat Albert. And the reason we have to have a sequel is because I got all through with it and realized that I'd forgotten to tell you a couple of things. So I'm going to tell you those things at the beginning of this video and make sure that I'm clear. I don't know why I forgot this stuff, but it must have something to do with the white in my whiskers. Makes me all fuzzy headed. At any rate, a couple things I was going to tell you. First of all, the foam that we used to tie the Fat Albert is we tied it in a purple and a pink, is 2mm foam. And notice these are great big sheets of foam. The reason they're great big sheets of foam is because this is the stuff you can buy at any hobby store, and it's cheap, dirt cheap. It only costs like 89 cents for a sheet, and they've got all kinds of colors that you can choose from. And it's a way to tie up some hopper patterns in particular, any patterns that have foam in it, very, very economically. The other thing I forgot to mention was that, we tied this pattern up in a pink and purple, mainly because I hadn't tied any of those before, and I wanted to have that color combination in my fly box, because I really believe that pink and purple works. But you can do other color combinations as well. So here's a couple of examples. Here's a tan and yellow, very effective. And a little brighter, here's an orange and brown. And then also using the purple is a purple and black. And tan and brown, I don't have any of those, but that's a good color combination as well. Very effective. So also, I mentioned the wing post materials. And in this case, what I used was some Steve Farrar's SF fiber for the white wing post, and I used some EP fiber for the fluorescent green, or the chartreuse, mainly because I had those two materials in those colors in stock. But probably my favorite would be the EP fibers for both, but you can use really any fiber that gives you, any synthetic fiber that gives you that appearance and provides a good way for you to see that fly floating on the surface. So, and I mentioned in the video that it can be fished by itself or as a part of a hopper dropper rig, but I didn't tell you about any particular dropper, so I'm going to give you a bonus feature in this video of a great fly, an old pattern that is wonderful to use as a dropper on a hopper dropper rig or any 2-bug rig. And it's so simple to tie, and there's just a couple of materials. So it is the WD-40, and I've got a hook in the vise now, and it is a size 18 Dairiki hook. It's an emerger hook with a straight eye, and it's usually I would tie these no smaller than size 18, but probably more in a 20 or 22. So it's a really itty-bitty fly. And because it's a small fly where you're going to use a fine thread, this is number 70 denier in an olive. And this is very, very quick. We'll start up right behind the hook eye and start our thread. And then we're going to tie in the tail and the wing case. And this is wood duck fiber. And they think that this is where the fly gets its name, WD-40, WD for wood duck. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some of those wood duck flank feathers pull those straight out from the stem. And cut them off. That's going to form our tail. This one little piece is going to make our tail and our wing case. And the tail's going to be fairly short, so we're going to hold that about where we want it on the fly, anticipating it's going to go around the bend a little bit, and try to hold it in place, and so it's tied down on top of the hook shank. Come down around the bend of the fly and back up with the thread. The thread actually is going to create the body of the fly. So we want just a slight taper, come back a little ways so it gets heavier as we move to the front. Okay, leaving room for our thorax right back over the wing case. Our wood duck fibers just a little bit. Now to create our thorax, we're going to use some all-purpose dubbing, some super bright dubbing in a brown. We don't need very much. Remember, with dubbing, less is best. We may take a couple little pieces of just a modest amount of dubbing, the smallest you can pinch off. Make a real slender dubbing noodle. We'll need a little bit more. We've added no weight to this fly, so it's going to just float below that hopper or whatever we use, whatever dry fly we use as our lead fly. This is a fairly bulbous head for the size of this fly. Now we're going to fold over our wing case and tie it down and trim off the balance. This is very definitely a dainty little fly. A couple more wraps on the head and a whip finish. And a little bit of head cement. And there we have the WD-40. Just a perfect dropper fly that, believe it or not, this simple little fly catches fish. Have fun tying it along with the Fat Albert hopper.